Elemental is a Pixar film directed by Peter Sohn, the director of The Good Dinosaur. Now, I didn't really want to watch this movie in theaters, so now that it's on Disney Plus, I figured I'd give it a shot because I have it on discount. Elemental tells the story of an immigrant family from Fireland. Their names become Bernie and his wife, and then they have a daughter named Ember who wants to run the shop and keep the family tradition alive. They're very traditional in that sense and very in the family. However, they built a small shop in Firetown, and it created a small community. However, Firetown's not really accessible to, it's the other way around. There's the big element city, which caters to the water people that came from the water. However, they don't really cater to the Firetown folks. They don't go out. And Ember wants to, she has a temper, and she accidentally creates a sort of safety infraction in the basement, leading to a water inspector, a waterman named Wade Ripple. And the two of them basically have to go on a rom-com adventure to find the leak, stop it, and overcome their differences to find true love. So I think the reason why Elemental didn't really stick with people in theaters is mainly because it's a little simplistic. I mean, look at the names. Your protagonist's name is Ember Lumen, which is obviously a play on, fire, and then Wade Ripple, and then, the kids, his relatives are called Marco and Polo, and it's like find any word that could be a name, and that's the name of a character. Like Dew is probably a name of a character, like Log. It's really simplistic in terms of its like world building. I mean, Element City, you don't really get to go there. There's earth people, and they're just in the background. There's wind, cloud people, and they're there. But I think the real heart of the movie has to be the romance between Ember and Wade. I really like that. However, when the movie's focusing on the immigrant story of Ember's father trying to keep the shop open and stuff, it gets kind of boring and very one-dimensional. It's very simple. The entire movie's simplistic. I didn't like that. There's some nice moments in there. Voice acting's okay. Animation's beautiful. It's just that the movie feels like a replay of Pixar's greatest hits. You got the characters, the world isn't quite there. It's just good enough. And I think the only reason why Disney can brag that their movie... There's something really weird about the box office of Elemental. When it came out, it only made like 30 million, and then everyone thought it was a bomb. But then it started getting released in other markets, and it just sat in theaters for 4 months collecting money until it made a profit. That's just the testament and power of Disney. It's not, I don't think it's like this movie had box office legs and it did really well in other countries. It just sat, it's still in theaters as I'm doing this review. It's still playing once per day in like every theater in my city, even though the movie's on Disney Plus right now, and it's been out since June 16th, I want to say. Yeah, so it's just been sitting in theaters for months, but that's because of Disney's staying power. They can pay to have a movie stay, and they did the same thing when they screwed over Quentin Tarantino. They made him move his Hateful Eight movie out of they pushed him out of theaters for a different movie, and theaters had to relent because Disney has all the hits. So they have a lot of power, and that's probably the reason why Elemental stayed in theaters for so long and just sort of farmed money. So you can't say that the movie's a roaring success because of that. I think it's just because of the backing of Disney behind it. So Elemental has a cute rom-com center surrounded by a lot of just, simplistic sort of set dressing and world building, and I give it a 6 out of 10.